The American dream is consistently becoming more and more difficult to achieve due to drastically increasing educational standards and opportunities. This is driven by a credentials arm race, but to understand this shift, we must look back at history. In the mid-1900s, credentials were much less significant than they are today. Look at one person's story from this time.
I really didn't enjoy going to school.
Yeah.
I went there because everybody had to go to school. I wasn't a dumb kid, but I didn't have a whole lot of interest in a lot of the subjects. And I was more interested in messing around with the guys. And as a result, I struggled with my grades. But, when the time came to graduate in 1961, I didn't have enough credits to graduate with my class in June. So I had to go to summer school. That's when I really got concerned about my situation. But anyway, I finished up and I went down to the University of Miami because I wanted to get as far as I could get from the horrible weather up north. And it continued to have problems with being interested in school. And, I started drinking beers and smoking cigarettes and doing all the kinds of things that don't lead to a good outcome. And that's when I found out that my life was going in the wrong direction.
He did poorly in school, barely having enough credits to graduate, but he ended up in college at the University of Miami. After this, he dropped out of college and went to the Marine Corps. Later in life, he managed to be a very successful banker at SunTrust. He had very little educational success, but he still ended up achieving astronomical success in life. This was common for people of this generation. They didn't need degrees to prove their ability to work on a job. People had broader, more attainable alternate paths to success. Because stability is a major aspect of the American dream for most people, the fact that success was easier to achieve in the mid-1900s made the American dream easier to obtain. For people born in the mid-1970s, it became a more difficult time to fulfill the American dream due to the fact that proper schooling and success in education became a larger factor in achieving financial security after education. By this time, the market for job opportunities was narrowing. People were chasing corporate positions, and generally, they were forced to focus more attention on school if they desired to be successful in corporate or business-related fields. Here is one person's perspective and story from this time.
Well, early on in high school, kind of freshman year in particular, I wasn't really aware of kind of the path to, scholarships and success in college. I just was not thinking that long term. And as time went on, I realized, okay, you better bear down and make top grades and be the best you can be. And I was also playing sports, and as I got myself into college, I was fortunate to get myself to a great school. But I also learned very quickly that people from around the country and around the world are prepared very differently for college than I had been. And so it was a bit of a wake-up call for me.
This person discovered during school that getting good grades was becoming important to later success. This demonstrates that as time has gone on, success has become much more difficult to achieve because the need for credentials for success has increased to get jobs. The American dream has become harder to achieve as a whole because it is more difficult to become stable and successful. Now this brings us to my generation in the 2020s. As a high school student today, straight A's and extracurriculars may not be enough to attain early success in life. They have turned into the baseline requirements to apply to a top college. What used to be exceptional has seemed to become average. On top of this, expectations for young people after college have also heavily increased. Students are expected to at least attend a graduate program, which can be difficult to get into on top of being time consuming. For medical careers, which are generally associated with success, students may spend over 10 years in school after college. On top of the time aspect, school is very expensive, so not everybody will even have the opportunity to do this. Therefore, success in the 21st century is as hard to achieve as it has ever been, demonstrating that the American dream has also been harder to achieve due to this.